Hello, guys, and welcome to the director's commentary for the Captivity Middle School trailer. So, today we have some new people, some new guests on the show with Ishmael returning, basically, and then we also have a new person named Jackson. Jackson, you want to introduce yourself?
Hello, I'm Jackson.
And Dan, you also want to introduce yourself?
Hello, I'm Dan Cash, the co-lead animator of ID Animations, and I work with Fault here.
Okay, so basically what we're going to do here today is that we're going to do a director's commentary, which me, as a director, is Fall 2008. We're going to do a director's commentary for the Captivity Middle School trailer. So shall I go over the mic stuff real quick?
Yeah.
Okay, so for those who haven't heard the news, but as of 2 months ago when I was working on the Captivity Middle School trailer, y'all might have remembered, Ishmael, you might have remembered him from the last commentary, Eva Jackson doesn't. This old person we used to have on our last commentary who did the healer and for Robert's commentary, he was going to be a worker for ID Animations and be one of the workers for Captivity Middle School. But we ended up firing Mike as of 2 years ago. Now you might be wondering, why did we fire Mike exactly? Well, it's a mix of a whole bunch of different things to a point where he was honestly pissing me off, dude. Listen, I like Mike as a friend, but he really did something that pissed me off last time, and I just couldn't stand his stubbornness. So basically what happened is that me and Mike decided to do a director's commentary on two of our current feature films at ID Animations. One of them is Healer, and one of them is for Robbers. Now, we both do agree that me and him decided to do a director's commentary, like critiquing the films, whatnot, and going over the production process. He complained about Healer being bad, which I do agree with him. Healer is a pretty shit movie, honestly. Like, the first movie I ever did make was pretty bad, and Mike is pretty right about Healer. It is pretty bad. Healer is a pretty bad movie, but what really pissed me off is so many different things he was doing wrong. Because when we finally got to the segment where we were ready to critique for Robbers, guess what he did? He was bored. He was like really scared when we started playing for Robbers. Because it seems like he hated for Robbers more than Healer, even though for Robbers is so much better because that movie's actually great and everything. So basically, me and him we started watching for Robbers, and then before we did start, he did say stuff like saying, "Oh, how long is it?" And
Do you know what I'm talking about? How long is it?
I said, "Well, it's going to be 3 hours and 30 minutes long." And he said, "Both of them? 3 hours and 30 minutes long."
Both of them?
Yeah, we're watching part 1 and part 2.
Okay.
Okay, so you ready?
No. Wait.
Mike, you want to share your experiences with the Robbers?
It is too, for sure.
Yeah, but you liked it, right?
Yeah, I did.
Ask for being afraid of me. Not to mention that I'm a
He's a virgin. Yeah, right, I remember. What? What do you mean?
I really watched this. I just don't want to see a sexual things.
And then, like, all kinds of stuff. Like, he wasn't excited. He said he was too saying the movie was too mature, which is crazy because that wasn't his first time watching for Robbers, right? Like, he watched for Robbers, like, some other time at my house in my theater room. And then all of a sudden in this call, I don't know if it's because Healer was just so bad that he thinks for Robbers is the same movie as Healer, even though it isn't. But he ruined the commentary. Mike ruined the commentary because he just did not like the Robbers because he was just like the characters were just mentioning the worst sex. And I have no idea how the fuck that makes a terrible movie. Does that make it a terrible movie to you guys? Whenever a character mentions some worse sex in an animated movie?
No.
Exactly, that's what I mean. Like, he was being so immature and stubborn about. I don't know what the fuck his problem. I don't know what the fuck Mike's problem was for the robbers, but he just hated it. Like he absolutely despised the film. And listen, I don't care if people hate the robbers, but what I was not okay with was the fact that he shut up for like the whole commentary. He refused to talk in the slightest. And Ishmael, you were there during the part 2 record. Remember when he went to go home? You remember that, Ishmael? Yeah, he went to go home. Like when Mike was complaining to me about all of this, I said, Mike, you have to do this. This is your job, man. If you want to be in the Captivity Middle School trailer, you have to do this. This is your job, man. This is how you're gonna be in the movie. And Mike said, nah, I want to go home early because I'm too bored, because I'm tired. Like, he kept making him excuses, saying like he's tired and all that. And when I did confront him after the fact in text messages, he kept saying, oh, The Robbers is a good movie. I was just tired. And then a few months later, when I told him about The Robbers again, and one of our special ed classes at Hyena High, he said, The Robbers sucks, dude. It's too mature. There's too many swearing, too many sex jokes. I was like, bro, it's a rated R movie. What are you talking about? How does that make it a bad movie? It's a really funny movie. You enjoyed it. Like, not just that, but there was this other situation we had too, me and Mike, where basically he said, he came to my house for 4 hours, right? Because we were doing the Captivity Middle School voice acting. And not just that, but he was going to be my camera operator, right? So we were there to work on the Captivity Middle School trailer, right? Like, do the voice acting, read the scripts. And after the fact, after there for a while, Mike just kept getting bored. Like saying, oh, I don't want to keep doing this. It's too many camera breaks. This is too boring. It's too dull.
What he doesn't know is how bad things get after a friendship.
Why can't we just leave me alone? What should I do?
I think, Richard, what you need to do right now is to chill out, man. You know, dating can be hard for you sometimes, you know, it's just like...
Seriously though, Richard, I gotta admit, you didn't suck after all.
What did you just say to me, Bertie Turkey?
Nothing. It was a bad joke. Chill, Richard. It's just a bad joke. Chill.
What am I supposed to do, Mike? Like, what am I supposed to do? You can't keep getting away with all these things. Like, what am I supposed to do?
I don't think there's anything you can do more to that.
Wait, I think I got an idea. I'll call up the Wings Redemption Trolls to troll. It is the internet after all. This is gonna be fun. So, I had enough. So, you know what? With Mike being too bored, because he likes to call a lot of shit bored, dude. Like, so I got sick and pretty fucking tired of him keep on complaining about our stuff being boring. And so, you know what? I made the decision that I was gonna fire him from Idea Animations altogether. And Mike, if you're watching this video on YouTube, I love you as a friend, dude. I think you are a cool guy, but your takes on movies are really, really bad to the point where it's honestly hard to talk about movies with you. And not just that, but I just can't have you work in the Idea Animations if you just can't do your job properly, you know? Like, I like you as a friend, Mike, but you've done something that really pissed me off, and I had to fire you, dude. No offense, but I had to fire you, Mike. I'm sorry you can't work on the Captivity Middle School, but this is how real filmmaking works. Some of this stuff can take a long time to make, and you just have to do what your bosses tell you. Because if you do that in a job in real life, your bosses can fire you for saying that, for not following the rules or whatever. And just let this be a life lesson, you know, because you will be graduating from high school next year. So and we're learning about jobs in our special ed classes. So let's just have this a little life lesson, okay, Mike? So how do y'all feel about Mike's termination? How do y'all feel about him for the stuff he's done during the last commentary?
It's ridiculous.
Fuck is silly is what it is. Sounds like he's got a mindset of a 7-year-old when it comes to movies.
He really is, dude. He pissed me off so badly, dude. Like, I just don't understand. Like, But anyways, with all that on the site, are y'all ready to start the Captivity Middle School trailer critique? As a director's comment?
I'm ready.
Yeah, so basically, what is y'all's experience with the Captivity Middle School trailer so far? What do y'all think of the trailer so far? On the movie, what direction the movie's going to be going towards? What do y'all think of the movie?
It looks good.
It is good?
Experience.
Yeah, it was really good. I'm not gonna lie. Honestly, the writing, I feel like some of the parts in the trailers honestly done really well compared to most of the scenes of the robbers on. Honestly, I think this movie might end up being better than the robbers, honestly, if we can make it a well-written movie and all that with its good themes and everything. So with its good themes, we could probably make a really good school movie right here. Yeah, so y'all know Captivity Middle School is based on a real school. Y'all know this, right?
Absolutely, yes.
Oh yeah, we all know how Captivity Middle School is as a real school. So, are y'all ready to start the first trailer of Captivity Middle School? And start critiquing it?
Absolutely, yes.
Alright, so here we go. Okay, so we're gonna start in 3, 2, 1, go.
1.
Warning, read more below. A long time ago in a place far,
So the first thing I do want to say right off the bat is the animation, it improved a lot, which is crazy because it's been almost 2 years ago since we first started animating for robbers, and it looks so much better in every way. All my animators did a real good job because it genuinely looks good enough to look like an old 2000s Pixar movie. Whereas for robbers animation, to me, seems good enough to look like an old DreamWorks movie. Can't y'all see the progress we made over the past 2 years?
Yeah. I mean, both are good, but yeah, it definitely looks so much better.
And I didn't think it'd be this major of improvement, too, especially since this is only an early trailer a year before the movie comes out. Because, it's gonna get better from here, but yeah, let's continue, shall we?
It's gonna be your first day kept in middle school.
Another point of praise I got for this movie I'll bring up is the cinematography. Now, the thing I will bring about our previous films for robbers is that I do feel like the cinematography of that movie is a bit of a mixed bag of the robbers. Not to say it's bad, but sometimes it could be a bit dull with the way shots can be handled. Especially in part 1, because part 1 of the robbers in the beginning, has the most outdated parts of the animations, if you ask me. It's good, but but the shots half the time doesn't really feel like a movie, and it could feel like TV budget CGI animation. But it does improve a bit as more of the movie goes on, especially in part 2. But with Captivity Middle School on the other hand, it's a major improvement this time. It genuinely feels like an actual movie. It looks so good. The way the characters are centered and stuff and focused, it looks amazing. It doesn't feel as flawed as our previous movie. Me personally, as a lead animator of these projects, I'll mostly do the best work. Obviously, I'm the lead. I know how to make these movies great, but yeah, let's continue.
Yeah, I agree. The camera work actually looks so much better this time. Great job, Fall. This is really good so far.
Yeah, it does.
I'm a genius, Dan. I'm a brilliant filmmaker who's really creative. Trust me.
Yeah, true that.
Fall, are you also going to bring up the fact that the AI voice is so much better this time, and maybe for writing as well?
Yeah, the AI voice has gotten so much better, especially ever since we switched to a new AI software called the 11 Labs, which sounds so much better than Voice.ai. Because I feel like Voice.ai is very cheap compared to the 11 Labs, the new AI voice software we're using for this movie. Because one thing I will say about some of the stuff with the robbers being a bit outdated compared to our later output is the AI voice acting. The AI voice acting is good for the most part, but half the time when the characters would have anger issues, I would have to put my voice in, but pitch it down. And it's so weird to a point where it's very jarring to the people who watched it. The dialogue of the movie is mostly good and hilarious, but sometimes the characters doing stuff like screaming makes the software buzz out with Voice.ai. So as a result, it will be too buzzy to function with that line delivery broken, so I'm forced to use my voice. And it's kind of bizarre in a way, but we didn't have much of a choice back then, and I think it was executed good the way we used our old technology budget back then.
Yeah,
So.
that was like one of my few minor nitpicks with Robbers was that, and Variety was a bit awkward at times too, especially the beginning of part one. But still still a great movie.
I really love the opening scene of this trailer so much. It's a nicer version of what you would expect from a typical school movie. It tries to open up lighthearted with like a Disney-style musical of this 13-year-old kid wanting to go to middle school and learn more in life and try to find passion, but then things take a dangerously dark turn when he finds out that this is a fucking atrocious of a school with a unique commentary on how dangerous and bad school corruptors can be in the real world. And there are some schools that are actually like Captivity Middle School, and it's brilliant. It stands out as my favorite school movie of all time too, because most school movies are horrible and generic and cliched. If y'all ever seen those school movies before, like, it stands out to me in a special way because I find most school movies pretty lame and terrible, but this is like unique. I love
and
this.
Yeah, and the thing is too is that they're so painfully outdated, like Disney Channel TV movie slop too, of most coming of age teen stories. Like, this feels like this could be an old Pixar movie from the 2000s if a made attempt to cover school corruption in an animated movie of how bad the school system can be sometimes.
Yeah.
But what Fall 2008 is about to discover is something that's going to change us.
You sure as hell had
God,
no, man, this man is such
He really
a monster.
was such a dipshit psychopath, man. I get crippling PTSD from seeing our old
He's
school
played by
principal.
Tom Hanks too. I'm never gonna look at Woody the same way ever again after I go watch Toy Story 5 this summer.
Yeah, Woody fell off so hard for real. His introduction sequence is really good. It gives you a nerving, intense feeling that this guy means business. And that shot of Lamonte looking at that oxygen door of him, feeling that nervousness is so well done. And the way he starts talking about on how we should follow his orders makes him a pretty shitty dictator of a school principal if I've ever seen one. Like, and this shit right here. Oh my god! A kid literally stands up to him and he just fucking grabs in the ear and carries him to ISS and literally
fucking
puts
God.
him in ISS. And people wonder how fuck this school like this could even exist. It's so bad, it's good. And especially this scene right here too is probably the most darkly realistic scene in this trailer because special ed abuse is a very real thing, and it's a major problem with some schools in this country. Like, it really can affect your kids from like having fun, and sometimes they could really become torture from it. With their bad grades, and sometimes get held back from it. It's terrible, and it's unique that this movie covers this dark topic that doesn't get really explored much in movies. Especially my old science teacher to say she really was a bitch. I fucking hated her bitch
Didn't
ass.
she actually look like that dressing that greenish nurse style outfit? And she would always wear that same mastery color. What's her name, Miss something? Because I hate her too. I think I had her during my 7th grade year.
Yeah, and this scene right here I love a lot because I love how we're reusing real life trends to make the students be brainwashed by social media, because this shit right here was actually really bad, and the emotional beats here really do hit very hard because you truly do feel a loss of fault here. Like, he loses as Falt's friends become brainwashed by the school's propaganda, and as a result, Falt loses all of his elementary friends. And it's really emotional. Me personally, I think the emotional beats hit way harder than the Robbers, because this film actually has more drama, is actually more drama focused, where for Robbers is a comedy with some drama and depth. That is really good, but not necessarily too emotional per se. But you really do feel the characters here, especially Fall 2008, because you really do know how all of this is truly going to go down, and how Fall is going to cope with all this dangerous nonsense.
And the brainwashing was horrible too, because literally Tom Manning looks at Lamonte's face and just gets randomly brainwashed and just fucking abandons his fault and deceive. You truly do feel bad for him, because school brainwashing propaganda can kind of be a real thing, even if it's kind of unrealistically over exaggerating this movie sometimes.
I especially love the art style you did for the hallways. It's so dark and cruel and scary. It looks like the back room.
Yeah, the art style, the dark art style of this movie is pretty good because it does match the tone of the movie pretty well. Oh my
Wow. Jesus.
God.
Is that fucking Bad Bunny moved into the classroom?
God, dude. Oh man. I think all of us have plenty to say about Bad Bunny Richard Anderson, don't we?
You know, his younger brother Gustavo Anderson flipped me off in the cafeteria once.
What?
Oh.
Oh God! Did he actually do that, Jackson?
Yes, he looks just like his older brother, but looks like him in his movies. He was such a mammoth assassin man who would goof around the horrific way a lot.
What the fuck? That is crazy. But yeah, I get huge ironic enjoyment as fucking goofy ass Seth Rogen in this movie. He's such a hilariously retarded villain for real. He does say a lot of bad things throughout the movie that I can't get into because spoilers, obviously, because the film's not out yet. But this is probably the one movie role that Seth Rogen fits really well into, especially compared to his usual roles, because it's really accurate to the actual Bad Bunny Richard from IRL lore we all know and love to hate. I really like the friendship here that Fault and Richard have in the beginning, because Fault doesn't know all this bad stuff yet, and he finds him incredibly entertaining, considering how shitty of a school CMS is. But then, as you see later, Fault does see for his dark side, obviously, and then it leads to a conflict between the two, and that carries on.
He's basically the animations equivalent chick kicks from Carter's. Like, they're both cocky, flamboyant sports players that are memeable, except that chick isn't a huge piece of shit like Redshirt because he doesn't terrorize the school and runs and bullies and tortures people in that horrible way.
Very true. Also, guys, should I tell y'all a story of how Dr. Fender said Bad Bunny to ISS one time in a Lamonte IRL slander because Dr. Fender was having a meeting in Gym Packs to pretend to care to punish the kids being bad?
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
I'm interested because this shit's so fucked up that's darkly hilarious.
So basically, there was a time where the kids were so bad to a point where even Dr. Fender, the assistant principals, had to step in. Not because he wanted to punish him, but rather it was in order to keep his reputation safe at Captivity Middle School for the school district. Because when he made that speech, said he's going to start punishing them because they were really out of control, and the kids were laughing because they never took him seriously. Even the good kids were laughing, like me, because he's such a huge dipshit and nobody fucking believes him. Like nobody believes he's ever going to be smart enough to punish the kids properly. And the bad kids were laughing because they think it's funny to see this loser rage. And Bad Bunny Richard was one of the bad kids laughing. And Dr. Fender called them all out, and he had the assistant principals literally walking to the fucking ISS room. And we were like, wow, this retard is actually making an attempt to punish the kids who were really bad, but he's still failing at it? Wow, he actually means business this time, huh? Like, I almost laughed myself. But I had to bite my cheeks hard just to avoid laughing so I didn't get in trouble. It was bad, dude. He was literally sending kids to ISS all because they were laughing at him. Like, I have no idea how he even became a principal of that school in the first place. He must have bought, like, a principal license or something, because no school principal who are sane acts like this. Like Ishmael, do you remember that? Because we were all there during our 8th grade year.
Yes, I do remember that fall.
Also, Jackson, did Dr. Fender ever do something like that when y'all were in 8th grade or 7th because you were a year younger than me?
I don't think so. But I think the kids who were in my grade were way worse for the kids who were in your grade fall. Because with my grade, I felt like there were more bad shit happening. And it was atrocious, I'm not gonna lie.
How the fuck is this Dr. Fender did not arrest it? I mean, I know about the lore and whatnot because I'm one of the story concept idea artists with you to Phil Fall, and how they fail look into the school, but wouldn't the police try to discover what's going on if he's like assaulting the kids or something? Like even if isn't that like one of the more over-exaggerated parts of him, which his character says here? Why would you say that like you're altering the IRL lore for this movie?
Yeah, you are definitely onto something, Dan, because Dr. Fender in real life was different because, you know, his personality IRL was that he did try to care about the problem, but the problem was that he was so incompetent, was that he really couldn't punish him properly. And the reason why I changed this up in the movie was that I don't feel like a school who's being like a terrible school like this should be ran by an incompetent moron, the principal, right? Because, you know, his personality IRL was that he did try to care about the problem, but the problem was that he was so incompetent, was that he really couldn't punish him properly. And the reason why I changed this up in the movie was that I don't feel like a school who's being like a terrible school like this should be ran by an incompetent moron, the principal, who doesn't know what he's doing. Who doesn't really know what to do. You get my point, Dan?
Yeah.
So instead of that characterization, I just have him actually be really fucking sinister and like have him be like a legit psychopath who tortures innocent children. Even if they get some evidence of him being a monster and try to report him, it's all good to be true, especially since ASSD actually does try to look into him, and he may seem good to them, but seriously, Dan, this school really was, dude. As unbelievable as it may sound, I think I might have brought it up in the Healer commentary I did with Mike, but the day before I did start work on the first scene of Healer back 3 years ago was the same day I graduated Captivity Middle School. And when I did graduate from CMS, I didn't believe it was real, dude. I thought I could have been Nakomo with how unreal it seemed it was. Like, I couldn't believe a school like this could exist with how awful it is. Like, when I went to sleep that night before the night before I started working on Healer the next day after CMS graduated, I thought it was all going to be a dream. Like, all of this, I was hoping it would be proof fake and I would actually wake it up knowing that a school didn't actually happen like that. But when I woke up, like, I was expecting to wake up in a hospital, but when I woke up the next day after like work on the first day of Healer, it was totally real. I am still baffled. Like, I was still on my fucking bed waking up. I was baffled. I was in just as much as disbelief as you and other people, Dan. It was real. Like, isn't that not fucking true, Ishmael and Axon? Y'all were sped victims too.
Yes, it was indeed real.
Totally.
Wow, I knew it was true, but goddamn. But I do agree with your characterization of Dr. Finn and what he adapted him from this movie, because it does make sense for him to be a monster of a field who's pretty unstoppable. And you really do worry if the kids will ever be alright again, especially from a brainwashing propaganda. It's very fearfulity building, if you ask me. And you feel bad for the victims. Like, it wouldn't make sense if Dr. Finn was just an incompetent principal who didn't know how to run the school. It wouldn't be as bad. And I think that would be against the point of a movie. Not to say these staffs were already bad in real life, because they already were bad in real life, but I'm talking about for the movie's sake, you know, Fall.
Yeah, I agree with you, Dan.
Oh my god, I remember this bad buddy cafeteria incident when he was threatening to fight his friends there because of a conflict that was going on at the time. It was like the time me and you Fall stopped being friends with Richard because he was going ape shit. Because he was like going ape shit crazy with his friends who were trying to stop him. Because with how he was taking things way too far.
Do you guys know who Wade's Redemption is by any chance?
Oh, I think I know who he is. He's not a good person.
I think you mentioned him to me before.
You've told me all about him before, and he's a fat fuck.
I really do like the cameo of all these awful YouTubers who are locals here. I like how they tried to help Bad Bunny Richard out of this whole trolley campaign going on, like, since, you know, they've been locals for a long time. And Keepstar having to help Richard here to make an attempt to take Fall down. It's very realistic in Keepstar's character helping locals that who are suffering. Especially since Trey Parker's betraying Keepstar here. And it fits his character really well. For You to Stay song by Mara Kay in the background as the final rock opera song goes insanely hard as the battle between Vault and Richard goes on. Seeing Vault working and bitching 200 max to catch up near the same power as Richard, considering Vault used to be an underdog, is a really nice touch to show how serious this final battle is. If Vault roasting Richard here for his bad acts is so hilarious.
Yeah, this song goes hard.
Yeah, I agree.
This final shot right here of him dramatically crossing their lightsabers, this final shot, is really cinematic. Bravo! I really did a really good job of this movie trailer. And that is Captivity Middle School trailer number 1. So, what are y'all thoughts on the Captivity Middle School trailer? Do y'all think it's really good?
Yes, it's great. 10 out of 10.
Absolutely amazing. 10 out of 10.
Yeah, okay, so, yeah, I will say this as my thoughts on the Captivity Middle School trailer. I think it could honestly be better than the Robbers. Hell, it's already been better than the Robbers in terms of showing off their first trailers. Because for Robbers as a final movie is great, but there's this issue of it where I think looking back on its original trailers back like 3 years ago in like late 2023, where the movie first got unveiled, I feel like it's kind of... When the movie first got unveiled, I feel like it's kind of like... I think for the old trailers of the Robbers are kind of painfully outdated, if you ask me. Because for one, in the first trailer for Robbers back in 2023, the script was AI generated, believe it or not. Because I had trouble coming up with good scripts back in the day. Not as bad as... I wouldn't say this as bad as Healer's script, but it's really bad compared to the final movie of Robbers, where Willie the Wolf just explains some random shit that isn't really part of the movie at all. And I feel like it's kind of terrible result. People thought for Robbers wouldn't be that much of an improvement from Healer, considering it was my worst received film ever from ID Animations. But by the time for Robbers animation pipeline production start, I got a hell of a lot better with my writing. And the thing I will say about Captivity Middle School's trailer is that it seems to be heading a better direction than the Robbers trailers, and the movie might end up being better as a result. I'm definitely excited for this for sure, and I cannot wait to start working on it as soon as it will be releasing. Not this fall, upcoming fall in 2026, but next fall in 2027. And I hope I see y'all there, you know.
I think my favorite part of this trailer is the Wings Redemption trolling Bad Bunny Richard, and the way he goes out to Keepstar for help. I don't know how he's going to get help in the action movie, but I love that addition to the movie. And the troll comments is hilarious and all of that. With him saying Snape a Wings Redemption and Soul, that's but his trolls usually do. And say stuff like, look here, look, listen, or Mod Bandistune, please. And all that funny stuff we know and love with Wings Redemption.
Speaking of trolling, y'all want to hear a story of me hilariously rage baiting this dumbass YouTuber when he was streaming one time, and he thought I was over-hating this garbage film and said this too much, bro, and had a meltdown stream. Do y'all know who Game & Magic 13 is?
I think I've heard of him before.
No.
I think I used to watch him for his rants on animated movies.
So basically, he is a pretty infamous YouTuber for ranting about movies in a really goofy, odd way, to a point where he makes like 6-hour-long movie reviews, nitpicking them to death. I've watched some of his videos before, like some of his videos I've watched before on like his commentaries and whatnot. He does on some of the Pixar movies. Some of them are great, like his Cars. Like his Cars video, for example, how he explained that movie's overhated. And not all of his videos are bad. I really like his commentaries more than his actual reviews, because his actual reviews are like fucking... They're like unnecessary long, like 6 hours long. But there was this one commentary he did that is so bad to a point where it might be worse than a 6-hour-long review of Toy Story 4. And that was like his Mario movie commentary. It It was so bad to the point where he kept complaining about the movie having too many references. Even though it's not up your face as he claims it is. Like, he kept complaining about the references even though it's not up your face as he claims that movie is. And he hates Bowser, and he calls Bowser for being a terrible villain for only meeting Mario to like the end of a movie, and it's not threatening at all. When I think he is pretty menacing, because I feel like the movie does do a good job like showing him like in the middle of the movie plenty of times, and he kept nitpicking about logical issues that don't really matter. Like, logic is like his main form of critique of movies, and if a movie's not realistic logically, he has a meltdown and think it's a pretty fucking shitty ass movie. And he said the Mario movie is bad when it's literally the best Illumination movie ever released since like Despicable Me 1. And it was all just nitpicks. He thinks the movie, and he genuinely thinks the Mario movie is made for babies. This is the same guy who unironically defends garbage like Cars 2 for being entertaining, by the way. Even if it's a mess, he says the same thing about Blue's Big City Adventure and the Door movie, by the way. Actual baby movies that are like more baby movies and he claims the Mario movie is.
Was that sarcasm I just heard from you? Or did he actually think those movies are made for babies are better than a Mario movie unironically?
Yes, he actually said that.
That was an actual commentary he did on the Mario movie with all that nitpicking bullshit? Like, was that a real video he actually made?
Yes, and it was really bad. It was probably like one of the worst reviews I've seen of that movie. At least other people who hate the Mario tries to call it like the actual problems in the movie. Like the movie like needs to have more stuff with its material, like good character development. But he gave it like a 4 out of 10. Lower than his 5 out of 10 score for Cars 2 because the Mushroom Kingdom made no sense. And he felt like the movie's logic was so bad. And legitimately he thinks Mario movie has worse logical issues than Cars 2, when that's probably like far from the case if you ask me, because Cars 2 is a so much worse movie than, because Cars 2 is so much worse than a Mario movie in my opinion. And his friend, what's his name, I think Guganic, I think, was bullying a bunch of people in his comment section, calling them like poor criticisms, and he framed the people like they were harassing when they really wasn't. They were calling your review shit, Trevor, because your review was fucking ass. Like why would you nitpick over some random bullshit like that?
I'm so glad I stopped watching Game of Magic 13 years ago. Well, I mean, okay, I did think some of the videos he did on some of the Pixar movies were good, and well argued. But tell me about that rage bait incident you had with him.
Basically, me and Dan joined up on his live stream when he was talking about some gaming awards show back in December 2025. Not that long ago, actually. Where he was talking about where we were basically talking video game movies with him in the live stream chat. And Trevor was like saying stuff like, dang, Sonic 3 came out like a year ago and video game movies are still bad and not learned their lesson. What the fuck? Which I do find Sonic 3 to be weaker than the Robbers, in my opinion. Like, me personally, I think the Robbers is the best video game movie of all time, in my opinion. So I said that to him, even though he doesn't know what the Robbers is. He was acting like there were no good video game movies at all since Sonic 3. Well, there's 2, because for Robbers and Sonic 3 both came out 2024. And I wish more people would remember for Robbers, because it really is such an underrated, obscure film. When there's actually 2. And then my friend from ID Animations, who's Dan, who's with me in this call. You remember this, Dan. You were there. Yeah, he obviously joined me, because we basically came into the live chat as these 2 troll guys. And we asked him stuff like, what are your thoughts on the Mario Movie 2 trailer? You know, because this is before the Mario Movie 2 came out recently. This is before we knew the movie was going to suck, right? Because we actually did see the Mario Movie 2, and actually, it's actually really bad in comparison to the first film. And like he said, and he said he doesn't care. He provided no good reason why he hated the trailer. It was bullshit.
What are your thoughts on the Mario Movie 2 trailer?
My thoughts are that I don't care.
Benny Safdie as Bowser Jr. is certainly a choice.
And then after Dan said that question, I came along and said, dude, Ben Schwartz is a male equivalent of Aquafina. He is so annoying and is the worst Sonic actor of all time. Because I think there was a point where like he mentioned like Aquafina's stream and making jokes like Scuttlebutt or whatever in there, and then him and his friends had a meltdown on stream, falling for my dumbass rage bait, saying, "Bro, Who is this guy? He's too harsh on Sonic movies. Ben Schwartz is the best Sonic actor.
It's gonna be another
I'm not gonna tolerate Ben Schwartz slander. He's the best Sonic voice actor, actually.
And then Trevor was saying, said that's a bit much.
Whoa, Ben Schwartz is the male equivalent of Aquafina? Alright.
What?
This person in chat should please
I like Ben Schwartz, but even if you do not like him, I feel like that's a bit much.
He's not everywhere. Like, why is he other than Sonic?
Well, apparently Invincible. Apparently he's an Invincible.
Even if you don't like Ben Schwartz, it's really rude to compare him to the worst brand of bottled water.
And then I was thinking to Dan and thinking to myself and Dan, we were like all discussing each other in that chat in our DMs on Discord, saying we were all thinking in our heads saying, really, Trevor? Are you sure that's too much? Because you're the one who kept complaining about Chris Pratt being terrible, Elena Smart, when Ben Schwartz is so much worse than Chris Pratt in every way. Because Mario is an actual character who isn't a completely unlikable, pissable prick. Because Sonic acts like a fucking man-child Deadpool in the first Sonic movie, cracking jokes and only making babies in the audience laugh with bad fourth wall breaks. Like, fuck off. He made a defense of the Sonic movies from being overhated. Like, saying they're overhated in this commentary, saying it makes sense logically of him cracking up pop culture jokes because he isn't from Earth. And he watched too many movies and he lost his alma. And, like, logic is not a main form of critiques of movies. Like, why is your main form of critiques fucking logic? I don't get it. He's such a mess of a YouTuber for real, dude. And he made not just that, but he also made a homophobic on that same stream we were trolling him on too. Calling, like, the game, like, quoting some, like, quote, YMS made. Which, YMS is a terrible YouTuber, by the way. Don't ever watch him because he's a fucking man-child. Right-wing, retard is a man-child. But anyways, he was quoting YMS, saying... And Trevor made, like, or I think it was a Furt who made that comment, and he made a homophobic on stream because somebody said chat saying, we should call the Game Awards the Gay Awards. And this and by the way, this is the same group of people who think Owl House the best LGBT representation of Disney, by the way. Which that show has a gay protagonist, and he's over making homophobe jokes. Like, what the fuck, bro? He's such a fucking retard. I was like, bruh. Oh man, I was carried away with that rant Game and Magic routine, even though he's completely irrelevant of this movie commentary. We had no reason to bring up Game and Magic routine here. But, yeah, I don't know why I brought him up, but I just figured I'd bring it up anyways. But, yeah, that's it for the Captivity Middle School trailer director's, commentary. Any more questions, y'all?
Please send me that stream. I need him having a meltdown over you calling Ben Schwartz for male equivalent Aquafina. And send me the time code as well.
Yeah, dude, I was fair with Fault, man. Me and him had such a good time during that live stream. Like getting him to react like that, it was funny. It was just like a Weezer dipshit stream for real. He acted like a fucking lowcat. And he is pretty infamous for raging on his live streams in general. Like people hate Game of Magic pretty so much.
I will, Jackson. I'll also put him up as a reference in a video as well with video cutaways, just so y'all understand what I'm talking about. But, yeah, thank y'all guys for watching the Captivity Middle School trailer with us. I hope y'all had a fun time watching this video with us. I'll see y'all when the movie comes out of fall of 2027, and hope to see y'all there. Bye-bye. Yeah.
No, wait, Fall. Can I ask you a question before you leave? Everybody don't leave. I got one question I need to hear from Fall.
Wait, what is it?
So, that tongue laugh you usually do when you goof around and all that, where did you even get an inspiration from that in the first place? Because I wanted to ask you this question for the longest time. Is it tied to anything we make or what?
So, I'm going to tell you the answer, Dan. It is actually tied to this movie and Bad Buddy Richard. Are you ready to hear it?
Was that the laugh Richard did back in 8th grade?
Yes, and it was so fucking dumb, too. Because so basically, Richard one time back in our old 6th period class back in 8th grade, he used to do this laugh a lot, which sounds silly, but that's what he did a lot, and people liked it. And the teacher did ask him one time, saying, "Wow, bad buddy, Richard, where did you get that funny tongue laugh from? Where did you get that? It sounds really funny." And then Richard says, "Well, I got it from Donkey Kong from a Mario movie. He did that funny laugh." So basically, I guess he got the inspirational laugh from Seth Rogen. I guess all over, I was like thinking to myself in my head, saying like, "Bro, are you fucking stupid or something? That is not how you do the Seth Rogen laugh at all. He doesn't even sound like, he doesn't even laugh like with his tongue, like basic when he's doing this laugh. I guess he got it all wrong, I guess, but that's not how you do it, dude." And that was the whole reason why I even got Seth Rogen cast as Bad Bunny in the first place, by the way. Because I knew Seth Rogen would be that one actor that like perfectly match for personality of Bad Bunny Richard Anderson.
So casting Seth Rogen wasn't just a random casting choice he picked for his child, then it was all a part of that reason of him acting like Donkey Kong in class?
Yeah, dude, it was pretty funny and stupid at the same time, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, that's crazy. Mind if I say one funny thing before we end this commentary?
I'm sure, Jackson. What do you have to say?
Yeah, subscribe, donate, or get the fuck out.
Oh, you're so funny, Jackson. You know that? Now that's a Wings of Redemption reference right there. Oh yeah, I guess we better close this out, shall we? Like...
So Trevor, what's your score for the first 2 movies?
God,
again?
if you're not up on the lore, I don't like giving numerical scores to things because I find it to be a very arbitrary system, because basically 2 people can sit in a room and have a conversation about a movie, agree on literally everything about it, and then come away giving it 2 completely different scores. Because everyone's like, what a number means to someone. Like I care way more about what the actual substantive things they say about a movie or a game or anything like that is.